Hey, how's everybody doing here? I made a video and I don't believe I had any sound in there. So I'm hoping this one's going to work. I missed a button. All right, all right, you kind of get the gist, right? I mean, maybe you didn't, maybe you didn't at all. All right, so I'm gonna go over this a little bit quicker here now. All right, we talked about in the very beginning. I talked about XLE and I talked about energy. Okay, and energy is buried inside month everywhere. Okay, there are very few stocks on the energy sector that are not a one. Okay, so it's going to be a splash here with the energies. I'm looking at crude here. The month is starting. The week is starting. The month is starting to move up a little bit here. If you watch the UCO, I mean the UCO is trying to get a little bit better. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some more action there. All right, crude has pulled back, but look at the monthly here coming back up on the UCO right now. All right, starting to lift again. All right, your light sweet crude is a little bit different there. All right, CL just kind of stuck in the middle. All right, so I don't know. Watch for crude to move back up. Who knows? XLU. All right, this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about utilities. All right, utilities because I was running my mouth here, and nobody was hearing me. Okay, all right. So I hope that this one goes successfully because I can't do another one. All right. XLU. All right. This is what I want to talk about here. The bulk of the utilities are all twos. There's very few insides. I think I got one. All right. Oklahoma is stuck inside, or where we'll see what Oklahoma's got to say something, but that is really one of the few stocks that is inside day. I'm sorry, a month. All right. So twos in heaven, man, and XLUs. All right. So XLUs, I'm going to go through these pretty quick, and I'm going to give you the gist of what I think in here. Okay. So coming back down, as you can see on utilities here on the daily. Okay. You see this move coming to the downside. This is a pretty good move here. All right. From 46.62. It's about $4 and change here. All right, but utilities coming down. All right, coming down. Well, we got some buyers showed up today. Okay, so XL yesterday. All right, so XLU picked up the day yesterday. You got a 232 coming back down here. But the month is still surviving pretty well, kind of stuck in the middle here where she is right now. So the week is looking exactly the same there. All right. So watch these names as I start to go through them here, and you'll see knee. Don't take a knee. Make it take a knee. All right, coming back down here on your this one from 90.99 down to 84.65, and here we are. We finished around 84.65. All right, month is still holding up okay. It's not sitting on the lows. It's lifting from the lows and lifting up on the weekly. All right, slowly. All right, slowly. But I see some of these showed up on Friday. American Electric Power. There's a couple that fizzed out too. All right, American Electric Power, another one moving from the downside, from the high side at 136.70. This thing's dragged down to 125. All right, picking up on the month here lightly with the week. Okay, so those two looking the same here right now. All right, and we got a 3-1 cooking inside here on your 4-hour. American Electric Power. We had buyers in there on Friday. Dominion had a nice day up on Dominion here. All right, buyers showing up after a real big move to the downside to try to get this 3 working here flat as a pancake. Nothing happened there, and then you get the 2-2 breakdown. So here's where we are. We had some buyers coming in. All right, we got what's starting to look like a nice hammer. Everybody likes, their kind of hammers. All right, so but hammering up on Dominion better on that one. Okay, so a little better there. All right, so Dominion, we'll watch on that one. We'll watch on Southern Man. All right, Southern Man was higher on Friday, got up to 93.66. And as you can see, there was a little bit of a pullback at the end of the day. That's what caused this whole lip to come back down. All right, so we'll see about that one. But again, buyers in control. All right, and your week and your month and your week are going to be easy to turn here. It looks like around 92 cents. Sorry here. I'm not sure exactly where, but we're going to turn. We got a good shot at turning green on that southern right there. All right, Duke Energy, DUK. There are a couple that were not good. All right, but Duke was not one of them. Duke goes outside on the day there. Give me that 322 back up. What do you say? All right, and you're cooking inside on the 4 hour. All right, so Duke better already lifting up on here. We already got a hammer going up here with the week. All right, so we'll see if the utilities start to turn green. Okay, this one definitely looks like it'll start to turn green. All right, so Duke, Duke, Duke. All right, ETR I think was one of them that was not that great. Finishes with the inside day here. I mean 2 day, but just undecided here with the week is in the month as well. But guess what? We got green on week, we got green on month, and we got green on week. All right, so we look to take another two up here, coming back down a little bit. All right, but we'll see what happens there. That is your ETR, Detroit Ed DTE. All right, Detroit Edison here. Again, nice day, but kind of gave it up here at the end again with the 2-2 back down. Kind of created that lip from the high. All right, what was that high there today? 141.45. So somewhere right up in this area right here. I think that's where the high was put up today. And then you got this move back to the downside there at the end of the day. So kind of brought it back down a little bit. Month is okay. Week is okay. All right, they're kind of stuck in the middle, but they're not sitting on the lows. That's what I think the biggest thing we're looking at here. Vista VST. VST puts up a nice hammer day, 2 day. I like that one coming up nice here. There's not much going here in the 4 hour right now. Pretty flat right now. This one they crapped out again at the end of the day. All right. You had a little bit of move to the downside. These things were stronger, but they got kind of knocked at the last, in the last 30 minutes of the day, or the last 60 minutes of the day. All right, so VST, SRE. SRE was a shooter down. It gave up everything coming back down here. So still heavy on this one. All right, so we'll see. This was that 2-2 move to the downside there. So sorry, but sorry wasn't that great. Okay. We looked at XLU. We looked at EXC. Eddie Exrey Charles. I got buyers coming in on Friday after a 3-2 day. You're cooking an insider right now, 3-1 inside. And again, took a little chunk of it here at the end. So that's what kind of brought us down at the end of the day there in those last 15s, it looks like to us there. Month looks good, and the week looks good on hammers. Okay, both of those looking pretty good there. All right. EXC, CNP, Charlie Nancy Peters. Again, there's a couple of them that were crappy. Centerpoint Energy was not much, 212 though, but stuck in the middle here. A lot of indecision on this one right now. All right, so be patient. We'll see if anything can start that guy turning around and bringing it back. CNP, NI. All right, NI. NI was Nye was a down day, 212 back down. All right, still not sitting on the lows of the month or so good. She's still hanging in there right now. All right, and I got a 4 hour that's starting to show up right there. Excuse me. All right, and FE Fee was good, man. Fee put up a nice day. All right, coming First Energy coming from 50.45, so it's giving up about $3 and change. All right, cooking the inside here off the month and off the week here, and looking good. All right, would take 48.20 to turn them green. All right, so we're gonna see how these start to shake out. All right, FEEIX. I think I talked about this one already. EIX. No, 2-1. 2-1. All right, so we're looking for a 2-1-2 back up on this guy coming up here off the month. coming up off the week, and you got a hammer that's starting to form on a 4 hour coming back up. All right, so EIX a little better there, and then Ed. All right, Ed, and Eddie. This one kind of crapped out with this move here. I've seen a lot of these lately. All right, so you get this big move, and then they just turn around and broadening formation and just come down perfectly. Strange. But 109.87 to break up to that, to go back up to the highs on there. All right, at 109.93. This one is hanging in there pretty good right now. All right, wouldn't be take too much to get that green if they start to go our way. All right, so Oklahoma, like I talked about that one, you are inside month. This thing looks pretty good. 2-1, cooking a nice month here right now. All right, and you got a beautiful day yesterday. Okay, and here we are kind of chopping up right now on Oklahoma. All right, so then we look at CCJ. These ones have already moved. All right, CCJ is already moved on these utilities. All right, so this is already moving forward. So these guys are just heating up if they want to make this move. This trade is still so far out. You know, I say this a lot. This trade really is 20, 30, 32, 33 before these things really come to fruition. So, but that's why they chop and they move around so much, all right? But here they are coming back up. You might just get maybe you could get a 2 month up out of this thing. I don't see really that happening, but they are moving nice. If this whole group moves, then it will. Okay, and then Constant Energy Group is a really nice 3-1 setting up on the daily right here, looking to take that 312 back up. All right, and what's that price right now? 271.12, trading around 269 and change. So month is good, kind of coming back in a little bit. All right, and the week has come back in a little bit. So we had a little bit of selling pressure here over the last, as you see here, right? They busted down here, and then they got them and they just chopped. So we'll see if a 312 comes into growth there. All right, UEC is another one here. This one's already up with the 2 up here on the month. All right, 3-2 up on the week. Give me another 3-2-2 back up on the UEC, and then there's summer in there too. SMR. 3-2 up. Give me another one. 3-2-2 back up. What do you say? All right. So those utilities, the bigger ones, the Oklahomas, the CEGs, the CCJs, all of those are the nuclears. Okay. So they're all tied in with that nuclear business. All right. So when they go, they go. Okay, when they go, they go. All right, and then they sputter out. But when they go, they will make a move. All right, so I think my thoughts going in here now with all of the energies that are being sucked, all the money's being taken out of energy because everything's sucked out of it now because everything's stuck inside month. They got to put this money somewhere, and I think maybe it could be coming into utilities. All right, so I hope that you guys hear me this time. Because I don't know if I can do it again. All right, but I'm going to play it again right afterwards. Somebody please send me a message to tell me that you heard it. I know somebody just sent me a message saying that it didn't, so that was what I saw. All right, so that's it. I hope you guys hear it. I hope you got it. I hope this happens. I'm looking for a cool breeze, man. Looking for a cool breeze to pick us up and see if we can get these utilities a little higher. What do you say? All right, be good, be good.